Hello and welcome to Rudy's Retro Intel. On today's show, I'm going to show you how a VIC-20 can be used to repair your Commodore PET. Before we start the video, I want to do a shout out to everyone watching, my Patreon members, subscribers, and viewers like you. I really appreciate you coming. Now let's get back to the video. So on the bench right now we have the Commodore PET. This is the 4032 with the 12-inch screen, and Commodore VIC-20. This VIC-20 is the older VIC-20. It has the power connector on the side, which is just it's just a 2-pin prong, not like the newer ones, which has the DIN connector, similar to the Commodore 64. So let's take a look at some more information regarding the VIC-20 and the PET. So let's take a closer look at the chips available inside the VIC-20 and the Commodore PET. So the VIC-20 has a chip called the VIA, or the Versatile Interface Adapter. It's a 6522 made by MOS Technologies, and it's used to control I/O like keyboard and ports. In the PET, it's used for interfacing with the keyboard, cassette port, and other peripherals. The 6522 is also in the VIC-20, and it's also used for the keyboard matrix and other components like the joystick. Now, in the VIC-20 and the PET, they both have the RAM, which is the 2114 or 2114 RAM chips. The first versions of the PET use a different chip, but the later versions use the 2114 for the video RAM. And they also both share the 6502, the MOS 6502 CPU running at 1 megahertz. So we can see right away that we have 1, 2, and 3 different chips that are in the Commodore the Commodore VIC-20 are also being used in the Commodore PET. Now note is that you can also find these 6502 and the 6522 in the 1541 floppy drives that are used for the Commodore 64. So which PETs can we use the RAM? So the dynamic PET, this is the assembly number 8032029, uses the 2114 RAM chips for the video and all their PETs. So for example, the dynamic PET uses the same thing, uses the 2114 RAM ICs for the video, and the 80 columns, the 32K and 16K, and the different assembly models. I will put a link, I'll put this in the description of the video itself, or unless you want to do a screenshot. Same thing, the universal dynamic PET, it uses also the 2114 RAM for video, and it's, for the 60 hertz and the 50 hertz, 32K and 16K. So all the PETs that use the 2114 RAM chips are used in all the boards except for the first boards, which are built from 1977, and they use the 6550 chips. 2K of the video RAM, where 4 chips are used, are for the 80 column, and 1K 2 chips are used for all the other PETs. The 2001-N, which is a dynamic PET, can be configured to use different types of dynamic RAM. So let's take a peek inside the 2 units and take a look where these chips are located. So here is a picture of my Commodore VIC-20, and again, like I showed you earlier, that's got a port on the back, which the port on the side for the power. It's a 2-prong power, and no what's it called? No DIN connector like the newer versions of the VIC-20 and the 64s. Here is a picture of the board. Let's flip this around. So this is the board when you open up your Commodore VIC-20 is what you're going to see. But if you flip it around, we can actually then get a better view of the chips. So the memory chips used in the VIC-20 are the 2114, and there's 11 of them on here. We also see that it's using the 6502 for the processor, and it has 2 of these 6522s in the VIC-20. Now on the PET, we can see this is the my 4032 PET, and if we zoom in here, we can see it's using the 6522s and the 6502, the CPU here. Also, if we want to look further down on the board here, we can see the 2 video RAMs it's using on this PET is the 2114 ICs. So what we can do is from the VIC-20, we can actually pull out the 2114 RAM chips from here and use it for the video RAM. In PETs that have problems, one of the first things to look at outside of power is the fact that the video RAM is usually goes, and you could use these ones to replace them. Also, the 6502 is here. Again, it's the same version that's in the PET and the Commodore VIC-20 and the 6522s. So basically you have 3 areas of chips that you can pull from to fix your PET. Also, there's another chip called the 6520, which is not available in your VIC-20, but you can get a modern replacement, which is the W65C21N CTPG-14. When you're searching for this IC, make sure it has the letter N in it, or it's not pin for pin compatible. So basically that's it. I mean, if you want to do a repair on your PET and you're finding that some of the chips are bad, you can get a VIC-20. VIC-20s are pretty cheap. They're not, you can find them at garage sales and eBay or other places for really dirt cheap. If they're defective, and the keyboard is not working or it's ugly, it's a great machine to use for parts. I don't recommend buying good working VIC-20s to do repairs. However, if you're looking at prices for some of these chips, are like $30-$40 or more, whereas if you buy a used VIC-20 for a few dollars more, you can use all the extra parts for your Commodore PET. And yes, so please don't send me any hate mail or bad comments saying, oh, you're butchering a VIC-20. No, I'm not saying to take a good VIC-20, but there are a lot of VIC-20s that are not working properly for some reason or other, or their keyboard is damaged, and you can use them instead of just putting them aside for parts for another VIC-20. You can also use them for parts for your Commodore PET. Well, that's about it for this video. Hopefully you learned a little bit something about using Commodore VIC-20s to do repairs on your PET. You can find them around. You can also do it vice versa. If you have parts in your VIC-20 that are not working and you have a PET, you can pull the parts out of that and repair your VIC-20. However, the cost of the retro computers keep going up. The VIC-20 is not so much, but the Commodore PETs, they can get $1,000+ for a good, clean, working Commodore PET. So in my books, I figure, I'd rather just, have an older VIC-20 that I can use for parts and fix my PET. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Big thank you again to my Patreon members, which are scrolling below, subscribers and viewers like you. Take care, and we'll talk next time.